Good afternoon, my friends. All right, for the little response here to my video response I made a few days ago, where I asked you guys, which do you prefer, a native or a foreigner? As far as constructive criticism, feedback on your languages, which one would you prefer? Now, for me personally, I prefer a native. Okay, and I'm gonna explain why. First of all, a native has grown up with that language. Okay, they've been around that language for years. Now they may not necessarily know the grammar, but they know in terms of pronunciation, accent. I think they will be very, very good to receive constructive criticism from in this respect. Like if I'm working on my pronunciation, accent, I'm looking for someone to critique it. I think the best person will be a native. Okay, they will be able to tell me if it sounds right or if I need to work a little bit more on it and whatnot. So I prefer a native there. Now, as far as grammar, now this is just my approach. Just looking at my approach, I still prefer a native because I don't really worry about too much grammar. All right. So to me, it doesn't really matter if the native is skilled in that area. As long as a native can be able to tell me, okay, this sounds better than it did before. You sound more natural. Your pronunciation has gotten a lot better. You still need to work on this as far as pronunciation. Not necessarily breaking it down, saying you need to know to like pitch this high pitch because that stuff is useless. Okay, explaining to me as a beginner about pitches and this is supposed to go up like that. It's not going to help me. Okay, I already know what my job is and what I need to do to improve that. Okay, and that takes time. All I want is the native to tell me if how it sounds from before. If I still need to work, if it's gotten better, that's what I need, what I want from the native speaker. Okay. Now, if I'm more of an analytical person, then obviously I want to have a native who has studied their own language and they can be able to explain things to me thoroughly. Okay. Then I will still take a native over a foreigner. All right. Then you want to have a native who has learned at least one other language to a pretty good level, or I should say not pretty good level, but to a high level, to a level of proficiency. They understand. Okay, they're not so biased. What I mean by bias is a person will tend to they will make fun of you, or they will say something negative about your just your language, or it could be your pronunciation or your accent or whatever. They will say something negative without understanding that this is a process that you're going through, and it takes time to get things correct. Okay, if a native is biased, they will criticize you. They won't be able to relate. Okay, they won't be able to relate to you. So when they're not able to relate, they're not really thinking. They're just saying, okay, this guy is not good. He's not good, and blah 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 blah. So they tend to be biased. All right. Now, yeah, sure, it's the truth. It's blatant, but it's not for someone to be blatant to you like that. It's not going to help you in any way. That's just, it's just not the right thing to receive from a native speaker. Now, someone who is unbiased, they have learned another language. They went through the process. Now, I'm not saying that they they grew up in an environment from a child and they acquired a language. I'm saying they were like in their 20s or their 30s, even 40s, and they learned a language. They started from scratch. They went through that process. Okay, they went through all those hardships that you're going through. Those people will be they will be able to relate to you because of those experiences that they've had. So when they reach a level, they will, even if there's like a near native level, they will still be able to relate to you and understand, and will be patient with you. Okay, this is the person that I prefer in my early stages of language learning. All right, so yeah, that's the native. I want a native who has experience in language learning. Okay, I'd rather have them because they're more forgiving. They're more patient. Now, again, a non-native, or I'm sorry, a native who hasn't had that experience, they tend to not be as patient. So I think once you get to a certain level of proficiency, I think it won't matter. Okay, if you're able to speak the language fluently, it won't matter if the native is if the native has learned another language or not, because you can either way you will be able to speak with them. So by that time it won't matter. But this is for your beginning stages, your early stages of learning. All right. Now with a non-native, obviously this person is just like you. They started from where you started. Okay, they went through the process as well. So for me, I think because there are different learning styles. My style is probably unorthodox to some other people. And from my experience from other foreigners I've met, they tend to learn in a more analytical way. I don't learn like that at the beginning. So if I'm a beginner, okay, I don't think it will be a good idea for me to get advice from a non-native. All right. I don't think it will benefit me because I'm a non-analytical person. Okay. Now, if I am analytical, then yeah, I can get the help from them, obviously. So, yeah, in that respect, I think a non-native will be helpful. Another thing I've experienced, and I've never seen this with other foreigners, someone, and it's quite ironic, someone who has they've learned a language to a really high level, okay, but then they go back and they look at someone who is on a lower level, okay, and then they make fun of them. They like criticize them in a negative way, no support at all. This is very ironic because this person has went through the process, but when this person gets to this certain level, they look down on whoever else is on the lower level. If this person isn't on your level or higher, then they have no respect for you. All right. And this is the irony. This is something that I experienced with non-natives. This is another reason why I don't really prefer to have a non-native overall when it comes to my language learning. And like I said, I've never met or seen like natives do this of certain languages. They put themselves up here, but then if someone is on a lower level, they literally don't have any respect or support for them. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but I've noticed a lot of non-natives are like that, and that's not good. So that kind of like pushed me away and turned me off from having a non-native, trying to seek a non-native for help. I always seek natives. Okay, like natives or whatever language I'm learning, I always seek the native. It's the best thing for me. Okay, so yeah, there you have it. That's what I prefer. Like I said, everyone has different learning styles. So some people may prefer a non-native. Some people prefer a native speaker. For me, I prefer a native overall. Okay, especially at the beginning. Once I get to a higher level, I'm able to, the language has become a part of me, then it won't matter if the native is skilled in grammar or, even a non-native. I will communicate with a non-native, but I will no longer need any help. So yeah, that's my response. And if you guys haven't seen that response, I'm going to post this as a video response to that video. And it's still open if you want to make video responses, give you guys replies to this video, feel free to do that. And yeah, thanks for viewing, and talk to you guys here shortly.